J-E-L-L-O.
The Jell-O program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra. The orchestra opens the program with Everything is Rhythm in My Heart from First in Girl. Easy as rolling off a log. That's an expression we all use, but I know an even better way to describe something easy, and here it is. Easy as making Jell-O. Because Jell-O really is amazingly simple to prepare, and whenever you make Jell-O, you're making a dessert that's certain to please everyone. For Jell-O's famous true fruit flavor always gets a great reception. But just remember that you can find that grand extra-rich fruit flavor only in genuine Jell-O. All 6 delicious flavors are extra rich, and they come from fresh, ripe fruit. Easy to make, easy to take. That's Jell-O, the most popular gelatin dessert in the entire world today. That's Jell-O, too. So don't accept any substitute. Be sure you get the real thing. Look for the big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O. And now we bring you our radiant master of ceremonies with warmth in his heart and a cold in his head, Jack Benny.
Hello again. This is Jack Benny speaking to you through a Kleenex. So don't get too close to your radios, folks. You know how these colds spread.
Where did you get that cold, Jack?
Down at the racetrack. I went out to Santa Anita yesterday.
Oh, why didn't you wear an overcoat?
I did, Don. I wore one on the way out. The bookmaker wore it home.
Usually do, don't they?
I tell you one thing, Don. I'm through with horses. That 4th race yesterday cured me.
Well, that's all. What happened?
Well, Don, I didn't mind when my horse stopped in the middle of the race and quit cold. But when he came over to the rail and asked me if I heard Fred Allen Wednesday night, that was going a little too far. How can a horse run during the day when he's up all night listening to the radio?
Well, Jack, even they have to have a little fun.
Say, Don, do you think Allen could have bribed those people to say I couldn't play the bee?
Why, Jack, I thought you told me this morning that you were going to forget all about him.
Oh, yes. Just slipped by me. Well, anyway, I swore I'd never bet on another horse as long as I live. Unless it's a sure thing,
Hiya, Don. Hello, sucker.
Listen, Mary, you didn't do so well at the track yourself yesterday.
I didn't, eh?
No.
I came home with 3 winners and a jockey.
Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, I only had bad luck in 1 race.
Yeah, what happened?
What happened? The jockey forgot his smudge pot and my horse was frozen at the post.
No, Mary, why do you make those things up?
Good practice in case I ever get on a comedy program.
Yeah. Something funny about this? Well, that's my ambition, too. My ambition, yeah.
Hiya, fellers. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Fred. I mean, Kenny.
Oh, Jack, why don't you get Allen off your mind?
He's not on my mind just because I happen to say Fred. There are a lot of Freds. There's Fred McMurray, Fred Astaire, Fred Stone. There are millions of Freds, aren't they, Kenny?
Yeah, but Alan's the funniest.
Is that so? Huh?
Say, who was that J.B. he was kidding about last Wednesday night?
J.B., probably George Burns. He spells by ear. Anyway, I don't want to talk about him. Let's forget F.A. That's short for fake, and that's what he is. Ha! Let him top that one.
Don't worry, he will.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's forget it. What's that paper you got there, Kenny?
I don't know. I found it at the racetrack.
Let's see it. Oh, it's a dope sheet.
A what?
A sheet dope.
Oh, you can say it either way.
Did you have a good time at the track, Kenny?
I'll say. They got better hot dogs there than at Ocean Park.
Oh, so you just go there to eat, huh?
You said it. I saw him with a hot dog so big I put $2 on it to show.
That's awful.
I just put mustard on it.
Oh, you did, huh? Come in.
Special delivery from Mary Livingston.
There she is.
The way he's laughing, it must be from my mother.
Hey, that's good. We could stand a few laughs. Well, you can go, boy.
What?
I say you can go. What are you standing there grinning at me for?
So you're the guy that can't play the V.
Get out of here. Wise guy. If I didn't have this cold, I'd go right after him. Between Allen and horses and colds and play, Phil. Give me an aspirin, Mary. St. Louis Blues, played by Phil Harris and his orchestra. And by the way, Phil, I want to tell you what a nice time I had at your house last Sunday night and how much I enjoyed meeting your mother and your sister, Lucy Bell. Say, she's a knockout.
Well, she thinks a lot of you, too, Jack.
Does she really?
Certainly does. She's been talking about you all week long.
Gee, no kidding, Phil.
Yes, sir. As far as she's concerned, you're the tops.
Gosh. Well, I've been... Come in?
That's your pulse.
Oh, it's good to know I'm alive, you know.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, Kenny, you embarrassed me terribly at Phil's party. Always hungry.
Well, they didn't serve anything.
Well, that's no excuse. And another thing, you can't eat goldfish.
You can't, eh?
No.
Wait till they look in the bowl.
Kenny. Say, Phil, is Lucy Bell coming up to the broadcast tonight?
You knew she was.
No, I didn't, really.
Yeah? What have you got that new suit on for?
This isn't a new suit.
And take off the tag.
You got to laugh tonight, didn't it? I bet I could think of an answer if I didn't have this cold.
Jack, I'm not a doctor, but you know what I think would be good for you?
What?
Why don't you take some Jell-O, dissolve it in warm water, stir thoroughly, and then after it cools, add some sliced bananas and have it with your dinner tonight.
Oh, will that cure my cold?
I don't know, but it's a swell dessert.
Well, I'll try it for the sake of my job. Or my cold. Why, Mary, what are you laughing at?
This letter from Mama is a riot.
Well, if it's that good, let's hear it. See, your mother's letters are always funny. Go ahead, read it.
All right. Plainfield, NJ, Jan 29, PH-37.
What is that, a code?
No, I'm all right.
Oh. Go ahead.
Dear daughter Mary, received your letter, and I was sure glad to hear from you. We have been having very unusual weather in Plainfield, too.
Must be pretty cold there.
Your brother Hillard had a touch of the flu, but he is now up and around. This morning he got up and chased his nurse around the room.
I wonder who won there.
Your sister Rita's having trouble with her eyes again and keeps running into things all the time. So I guess we'll either have to get her new glasses or bumpers.
Now, that's silly.
Tell Jack I know it, but I gotta laugh.
A fine letter. Go on, huh?
Last night there was a lot of excitement at the Palace Theater. We went to see Camille. In the middle of the picture, Camille took sick and died, so we got our money back.
Oh.
It sure happened quick. She was in perfect health when we sat down.
Well, that's life for you, you know.
No more news at present, except your father is very busy making out his income tax. He cheats at solitaire, too.
Nice about your father.
Tell Jack we're all quite interested in his fight with Fred Allen. And speaking of the bee, will you please send me a check for $25? Love from us all, your Mater.
Mater. She's getting quite high class there.
Oh, here's a P.S.
Oh.
Please ask Kenny to sing Sweetheart, Let's Grow Old Together. And wish him the best of luck, as I know I'm tough to follow.
Well, that's mighty sweet of the Mater. Think you can follow her, Kenny?
Oh, sure. What's the mater, Jack?
Well, mater is a Latin word meaning an ancestor on the maternal side. Do you get it?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at, Kenny? That's not a joke.
I don't care. I'm not fussy.
Go ahead and sing. Gee, I wish Lucy Bell would get here.
Sweetheart, let's grow old together. Love like ours will never die, hand in fair and stormy weather, as the years roll by. Dear heart, we're dancing, it's time for romancing, for just we two. Heart to heart beating, my lips keep repeating, I love but you. Dreams of the future arise into little blue eyes. Sweetheart, let's grow old together. Love like ours will never die, hand in fair and stormy weather, how just you and I. On our golden wedding day, dear, I love you, I still will stay, dear, so let's grow old together, sweetheart, as the years roll by.
That was Sweetheart, Let's Grow Old Together, sung by young Kenny Baker. And say, Phil, did Lucy Bell get here yet?
Not yet, Jack, but she ought to be here any minute.
I wish you'd hurry up. You said she mentioned my name, didn't you?
Yeah, she did.
What'd she say?
Well, she said if you'd have sent her flowers, they'd have been much nicer than the ones she got from Kenny.
Oh, yeah? You keep out of this, Kenny.
I didn't say anything.
Well, anyway, when Lucy Bell gets here, I want everybody to behave themselves, especially Kenny and Mary and Don.
I'll be all right.
Yeah, I bet that's her now. Gee, do I Do I look all right, Mary?
Not to me.
Come in.
Mr. Benny,
Yes?
I want to take this opportunity of wishing you and
Get
your
out of
family...
here! I wish somebody had set a trap for him.
Oh, Jack, look who's coming in the studio.
Well, well.
Here comes Lucy Bell now.
Well. Hello, Lucy Bell.
Hello. Oh, I'm just tickled pink to see you again, Mr. Benny.
Oh, Lucy Bell, why don't you call me Jack? After all, I'm your brother's friend, and yours too, I trust.
You mean that?
Yeah.
You're not acting, are you? Only like a fool.
Mary.
Oh, and there's Mr. Baker. Thanks for those poinsettias you sent me, Mr. Baker.
Shucks, I ordered flowers.
Why, Kenny, what do you think poinsettias are? A couple of dogs?
Yeah, with spots on them.
That's right. Tell me, Lucy Bell, you've been in town a week now. What have you been doing with yourself?
Well, I met a nice young man who lives next door, and he took me out to Hollywood Bowl the other night.
The Hollywood Bowl? Why, there are no concerts there this time of year.
We didn't mind.
I mean, have you done anything interesting?
Oh, that was very...
I mean, have you seen any of the sights around town?
Don't raise your voice to me, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lucy Bell.
Now listen, Jack. Either respect my sister or take up my option.
Oh, there's my brother. Hello, Filthy Lamb.
Filthy lamb.
What are you laughing at, Stinky Pie?
That's your fault, Mary, for telling him my nickname. Yeah.
Wait till I tell him your real name.
Why?
You know, you sure have a big crowd in this studio. Is that the audience?
No, that's Don Wilson. The audience is over here. Although he's an audience enough for anybody. You know, Don is our sponsorial mouthpiece.
He is? What's that?
Well, that's, Lucy Bell, that's... Oh, you explain it, will you, Don?
I'll be glad to.
I knew you would.
A sponsorial mouthpiece, Lucy Bell, is a fellow who says the Jell-O is the finest, tastiest dessert in the world, and it has that new extra-rich fresh fruit flavor, and every day millions of people eat it.
Oh, that.
Yes, Lucy Bell. That's Don's whole life, giving sponsorial hints to the world. Well, Lucy Bell, if you'll wait around till the program is over, we can go out somewhere and have a sandwich, you and I, or a dance or two.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. But the boy next door was waiting downstairs to take me for a drive.
Well, some other time then, huh?
Oh, yes. Well, bye, everybody.
Bye, Lucy Bell.
Come again.
Bye, Jack.
Goodbye, Lucy Bell. Have a nice time.
We will.
The boy next door. Say, Phil, who lives next door to you anyway?
Well, Robert Taylor lives on one side and Jackie Cooper on the other.
Oh, Jackie Cooper. Well, he's just a kid. I don't have to worry about him.
Robert Taylor don't have to worry about you.
Yeah? Play, Phil. What kind of a Amber, played by Lucy Bell's brother and his orchestra. And now, folks, tonight, I would like to settle once and for all an argument that has been the talk of the musical world. It seems that...
Say, Jack.
Yeah?
What about that special 4th of July sketch you announced last Sunday?
Well, Don, I'm not in a 4th of July mood tonight, but there will be some fireworks. I've got something very important on my mind that I'd like to discuss with Phil Harris, so if the rest of you fellas want to go home, it's all right with me.
Okay, as long as you don't need us. So long, Jack.
So long. You can go too, Mary.
All right. Come on, Kenny. Let him try to get laughs now.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood for laughs.
So long, Jack.
Goodbye. There are other things in life besides comedy.
What's on your mind, Jack?
Come here a minute, Phil. Phil, how many men have you got in your orchestra?
15.
15, huh? Well, next Sunday, I'd like to have you add about 30 more. A real symphonic organization.
But what's the idea, Jack?
Well, Phil, there's one argument I didn't start that I'm going to finish next week. I'm going to play Schubert's immortal classic, The Bee. Thank you, music lovers.
But, Jack, do you think you can do it?
Oh, Phil, here's the music. You can see for yourself it's a simple composition.
I don't know. There's a lot of notes there.
Well, those aren't all notes. Anyway, should have screen doors here. Anyway, you can go now, Phil. I just wanted to get everything set.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Phil, I'm kind of tired anyway, really. I don't feel like working much more tonight, and I haven't been feeling any too good. I think I'll lie down here for a minute or two. Yeah?
That's a good idea, Jack. That cold has got you down.
Yeah. So long, Phil.
So long.
See, this couch feels pretty good right now. I don't know how I ever got through today. Excuse me, folks. I haven't been so sleepy since last Wednesday night between the hours of 9 and 10. Oh, boy. Folks, life's a funny thing. I don't know, it's the little things that upset you. You take a fella like Alan who, yes, sir, life sure is. Yep. I'll have a big symphony orchestra. I'll show that guy up. Bee, nothing but bee. The busy bee. To be or not to be. J.B., F.A., Fe. Who's that? Who's that laughing?
Well, as I live and breathe and stuff a doll in my mouth so I won't laugh at his jokes, if it isn't Jack Benny.
Fred Allen. Allen, what are you doing here?
So you're going to play the bee, ha.
Yes, I am. And when I get through with the bee, it'll be number 1 on the hit parade.
Hit parade? Why, you couldn't even get into the parade of the wooden soldiers, and you got a head start.
Oh, no? Now, listen to me, Alan. Last Wednesday night, you brought 3 kids up to your program known as the 3 Smart Girls, didn't you?
Yes.
And what did you ask them?
I asked them why they call themselves the 3 Smart Girls.
Yes, and what did they say?
We said we never listened to Jack Benny.
Now, listen, Alan. Listen to me. You've dragged my name through musical mud long enough.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
See this gun? If you've ever prayed, pray now.
Oh, what's the use? You'll play the fiddle anyway.
Oh, yeah? Well, that's the last quip you'll ever make. Take this.
Wait a minute. Don't shoot.
I thought you were a coward. you spineless yellow jellyfish.
Yellow? Why, you're yellower than a canary bird with a jaundice.
That's the last straw. Now, before I bump you off, Alan, I just want you to remind you of a few things. You said I couldn't play the bee at the age of 10, didn't you? You brought the postmaster from Waukegan up to testify against me, didn't you? You brought the photographer. You brought my violin teacher. You brought our family pawnbroker. Why, for $2 more you could have gotten my father. You accused me of picking up old cigar butts. You said I'd never live to be 104 and a half. You made me the laughing stock of the nation. And Europe by short waves. You laughed. You lied. You ridiculed. You slandered. And you called me a squirt. Well, the squirt has turned. You reached the end of your rope, Alan. Take that. And that. And that.
Jack, what's the matter with you?
Wake up. Wake up, Jack. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing, fellas. Nothing. I just had a dream. And, gee, it was swell. Play, Phil.
Nearly every home has some particular specialty, one grand dish that the whole again. And I'm here to tell you about that kind of a hit. Combination of luscious figs and strawberry jello. Here's how you make it. First, dissolve a package of strawberry jello in 1 pint of hot water and fig juice. Chill until slightly thickened and then fold in 1 cup of sliced stewed figs. After that, just mold and serve with whipped cream. And what a swell combination that is. Golden figs and rosy cherry strawberry jello. Good to look at, better to taste. No other gelatin dessert has Jello's extra rich fresh fruit flavor. So when you make jellied figs, just be sure to make them with the one and only genuine Jello.
The last number of the 18th program in the new Jello series, and we'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time.
Oh, Jack.
Yes, Don?
A telegram just came in. Do you mind if I read it?
No. Who's it from, Don?
Well, it's from Alton Cook, radio editor of the New York World Telegram.
Oh.
It says, congratulations to Jack Benny on the new honors he has won in the World Telegram Radio Editors Poll. Stop. For the 4th consecutive year, he has been voted America's favorite comedian by the radio editors of the United States and Canada. Stop. The Jello program was picked as the all-around favorite show for the 3rd successive year, and Don Wilson was voted the best studio announcer. Stop.
Well done.
Congratulations also to Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, and Kenny Baker, who have maintained their same high standard. Signed, Alton Cook.
Well, thanks, Alton, and all of you fellow radio scribes for this great honor. I also want to thank my listeners, my cast, and my authors. Hey, wasn't that swell, Mary? Come on, let's go.
All right, my dream man.
Good night, folks.
At this time, the entire country is shocked by one of the most unparalleled catastrophes in recent years. The victims of the floods need not only your sympathy, they also need your help. Give as much as you can afford to help relieve the intense suffering in the flood areas. Send your contributions to your nearest Red Cross chapter and be as generous as you can. Thank you. The part of Fred Allen was played tonight by Lind Hayes. The Jello program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston came to you from Hollywood. This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI Los Angeles. 15 seconds until 9.
And now, boys and girls, here is what you get when you join the Secret Squadron. This membership card with your very own Secret Squadron number, this official Secret Squadron manual, and this combination badge and decoder. Look, here's how the decoder works. I'll give you a 2-word clue. And the second word is in our secret code. The first word is watch. Now, here is the secret code word. Write down these numbers. 17, 3, 20. Now, set your secret decoder like this. For code A3. Then decode this important clue to next week's adventure. If you don't have your decoder badge, here's how you can get one for your very own. First, get a jar of the official Secret Squadron drink. delicious chocolate-flavored Ovaltine, the food drink for rocket power. Then cut out the wax paper disc that covers the Ovaltine jar. And send that disc with your name, your address, to me, Captain Midnight, Box P, Chicago 77, Illinois. That's all. Send no money. It's free to every boy and girl who joins the Secret Squadron. And when you receive your Secret Decoder badge, membership card with your very own Secret Squadron number, and 12-page manual, you'll be a full-fledged member. Remember, get your Ovaltine, the food drink for rocket power. Hot or cold, it's got what it takes to help you be a leader in your gang. So every day, drink instant Ovaltine.
I, the whistler, know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales, many secrets hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak. And so I tell you the amazing story of House of Greed. A taxicab rolls through the night and comes to a stop before a brownstone mansion on West 52nd Street. The driver opens the door, and a handsome, well-dressed man steps out, pays the driver, slips quickly up the stairs, fumbles with a bunch of keys, but the door opens.
Oh, hello, Jackson.
Mr. Talbot, welcome home, sir.
Where's Mrs. Talbot?
Oh, she left 3 days ago. Went to the place in the Catskills. There's a note on your desk, sir.
Oh, good.
Your brother, Frank, is waiting in the library.
Oh. Hello, Frank. What do you want?
John.
Now, look, Frank, I told you the last time I'd give you no more money.
Oh, but it isn't gambling debts this time. I'm reforming. I'm going to settle down and work.
Work?
I met a big cattleman from South America. He has a very lovely daughter. And she talked her father into letting me buy an interest in the business.
How much?
$10,000. Oh, I'm sure I'll make good, John.
Oh, very well. I don't mind doing something like that for you. When are you leaving?
Tomorrow. I've had a plane reservation for 4 days. Thanks for the check, John. You're a swell guy. Tell Mary goodbye for me.
Yeah, she's up in the Catskills.
So Jackson told me.
Good Lord.
What's wrong?
She hasn't gone to the Catskills. I can't understand this. What on earth does she mean?
Well, what is it?
Well, read it.
John, this life is too lonely. I can't go on like this, so I'm leaving you. I found someone else who is more considerate of me.
But
First, I'm going home, and from there, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, but things just didn't work out for us. Mary.
Someone who's more considerate of her. Why, I've given Mary everything her heart desired. She must be out of her mind.
Of course, you have been gone a lot, and women get crazy ideas.
It's knocked the pins right out from under me.
Yes, I can see that. You'd better take it easy for a while.
Yes, I feel, I don't know, kind of sick. All of a sudden, nothing seems to matter.
Well, maybe she'll wake up before she gets too far. Perhaps I'd better cancel my trip for a few weeks until you get straightened out.
No, never mind. I'll pull myself together. I wouldn't have you sidetrack your plans for the world. I think you better go now, Frank. I'd rather be alone.
All right. But don't do anything foolish.
What do you mean?
Well, if you brood about it, you're liable to get some crazy ideas and end up really holding the sack.
Good luck, Frank. Lots of luck.
Thanks. Goodbye, John.
John sits for the remainder of the night staring over the top of his desk. The next morning he closes the house and starts on Mary's trail, which takes him to London, Paris, Berlin, all over Europe, but to no avail. Finally, he drops his active interest in his business and goes to live in his country estate. Then one day, 14 years later, he finds himself on a honeymoon. He has married a widow named Hilda.
Well, John, dear, we got away without too much trouble.
It does seem a bit silly, rice and honeymoons at our age.
Our age? Well, you sound as though we're a couple of old grannies. I'm 36 and you're 45, and I certainly don't feel old.
Why, of course you're not, Helga.
Oh, John, now that the wedding's over, there's something I haven't told you.
Oh, now
I haven't said anything because I was afraid it might make a difference.
I know what it is. You have a son.
How did you know?
I wondered when you were going to mention it.
Oh, well, he finishes school this year. It's been quite a struggle putting him through college. But he's very bright. Paul has studied hard and managed to cram 2 years into one. Could he spend the summer with us?
Why, of course.
Oh, John, you're a darling.
I should be able to find a place for him in the business. Oh, ask him to come down to our place in the country.
Oh, thanks, John. You're wonderful.
So Helga's son, Paul, came to spend the summer at the country place. And he stayed the next winter, and the following summer, and the next winter. Now it is summer again. And Paul is still visiting his mother and stepfather. The first year, he worked in the office every day until noon. And found business very boring. So finally, he quit going to the city at all.
But, Mother, I've looked the whole thing over, and there's nothing there that interests me.
Well, you could learn about the business. You seem to be able to learn anything else you want to.
But I don't care for business.
Oh, you're a fool. I worked my knuckles to the bone to give you an education. I married John Talbot to give you a chance to do something. John has no children. It's a huge business. And one day you could control the whole thing. I'm disappointed in you, Paul. You're letting me down.
Well, it seems to run very well without too much attention from him. If we were to inherit it, why wouldn't it continue to run just as well?
You either get down to that office or you pack your things and get out.
Why should I? I'm perfectly satisfied.
I'll tell John to make you go.
And suppose I tell him what you just said? That you married him just to give me a chance? Married him for his money?
You wouldn't dare.
And suppose I tell him that you were never divorced from Father? That he's still down in South America? Still wandering around trying to find a gold mine?
If you dare open your mouth, I'll...
Hello there. How are you, Helga? What's this I heard about South America?
Oh, why, nothing, darling. Paul was just talking about someone he met from down there.
Who do you know from South America, Paul?
Fellow, I met him today.
Were you in the city today?
No, I was down the village.
I didn't suppose you'd been out of the house today. What's his name?
Why, I don't remember.
I didn't think you would. You haven't been out of this house for 3 days. Paul, I think you're the laziest man I've ever met.
All right. I'll start back to the office Monday. If that's what you and Mother want me to do, I'll do it.
Why, I'm sorry I wasn't here for dinner, Helga. I was detained in town. Well, I have quite a bit of work to do. I'll be here in the library for 2 or 3 hours.
Very well, John. I won't bother you. I'll go on upstairs. Besides, I want to have a little talk with Paul. Good night, dear.
Good night, Helga. What on earth? Who's out there? Who are you? What do you want out there?
May I come in? I want to talk with you.
Well, why do you come to the library windows? Why didn't you ring the bell?
I didn't want to cause a disturbance.
Disturbance? What do you mean?
May I come in?
Yes, come ahead.
Don't you know me, John?
Good Lord. Mary.
I'm sorry, John. I had to talk with you. I saw the light in the library.
What do you want?
I need your help.
Where have you been all these years?
Oh, every place. Are you still filled with resentment?
It's been too long ago. At first I was. I followed you all over Europe, but never quite caught up with you. Now I'm glad I didn't. No telling what I might have done.
I'm sorry, John. I was a fool, and I know that now. May I sit down?
Why, of course. Are you cold?
Yes, I can't seem to shake it. I've had it for weeks.
See, I hate to mention it, but you look a bit shabby, Mary. Aren't you doing well?
Oh, well, yes. Yes, I'm doing all right.
Are you?
You've married again.
Yes.
And your wife is here?
Yes.
Then I'll be as brief as possible. I wouldn't want her to know that I was here.
You want me to help your husband?
No, not that. I have no husband.
What about the man you said was more considerate of you?
He left me 4 years after the baby was born.
Baby? You have a child.
Yes, John. She's 17 now.
And where's the man?
I don't know and I don't care. Oh, John, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I should have known better. But he practically carried me off my feet. And I learned later, to my sorrow, that he was not worth shooting.
Where's your daughter?
She's in a school in Vermont. I've worked hard to give her an education. I've done everything I could do to give her a chance. I've not seen her very often. But now, well, I'm sort of cracking up. I've been ill a lot. And I seem to have trouble getting a job.
Job? What kind of a job?
Why, any kind of a job.
What have you been working at, Mary?
Oh, John, I've made such a miserable mess. I was never able to face things. I always took the line of least resistance.
What a shame.
And now I've come to the end of my rope. Joan has finished school. She's a lovely girl, John. I can't let her know. I can't take her with me.
Why not?
She deserves so much more. She deserves a chance in life. I want you to do something for her.
Well, why should I?
Because she's your daughter, John.
Yeah. My daughter?
Yes, yours and mine. She was born 7 months after I left. Here's the birth certificate. Please, John, do something for her. She shouldn't be made to suffer for my mistake. She's innocent.
Well, does she know I'm her father?
No. And she doesn't remember the other man. Here, I'll give you her address. Fernwood College. And I'll write a letter to her explaining all about you.
Well,
Oh, John, you could do so much for her. She's a young lady now. And so lovely. Please see her. I know you'll fall in love with her.
All right, Mary. I'll see her. I'll have her come down here.
Oh, John, I'm so sorry. So sorry for everything I've done. Please forgive me.
I've forgotten everything, Mary. Oh, wait a moment. Take this check and do something about that cough.
No, thanks, John. I won't need it.
You better take it.
Thanks. I'll be all right in a few days. The cough will be gone. Good night, John.
Good night, Mary.
If he brings this girl here, do you realize what it means, Mother?
Yes?
It's his own daughter. If he falls for her, if he likes her, he'll change his will and split the estate.
She's entitled to it, isn't she?
Now, why should she be? Strange girl he didn't even know existed. Popped up out of nowhere and cheats us out of half the estate.
I know what you mean.
We've been here for several years. You're his wife. It isn't fair.
What would you do about it, Paul?
I'd see that she didn't get anything.
How would that be possible?
Suppose she didn't like it here. Supposing that before John got attached to her, the things happened that would make her dislike everything here. If she runs away soon enough, he won't change his will.
Perhaps you're right. And if she doesn't?
Then maybe something could happen to John. And later, something could happen to the girl. But in any event, the will must not be changed.
Where do you get such ideas?
That, Joan dear, is the story of your mother. I trailed them all over Europe, but never quite caught up with them.
You mean you planned to kill them?
Kill them? I was filled with revenge, but I finally gave up the chase and returned here to wait. I knew that sooner or later she'd show up.
But it's been so long ago. Surely you've lost the desire for revenge by this time.
Time heals many wounds, my dear.
If you had caught up with them and satisfied your revenge, what good would it have done?
Quite right, my dear, quite right. Tell me, have you no recollection of this man? You can recall nothing about him?
Absolutely nothing. Remember, I was only 4 when he went away.
And you do believe that I'm your father?
What else am I to believe? Mother proved that with the birth certificate. Proved that I'm Joan Talbot, not Joan Evans, as I've always believed.
Of course. And would you like to remain here?
Why, yes, I think I would,
There
but
seems to be a doubt. Why do you hesitate?
I don't know. From all the evidence, I belong here. I have a legal right, but... Well,
I can't seem to find words to express it.
Express what?
From the moment I stepped in the door of this house, I've had a strange feeling. A cold, chilly sensation of fear.
Well, is it something you feel about me?
Yes.
You're afraid of me.
No, I don't think so.
Is it Helga?
Well...
Is it Paul?
Oh, please don't ask me anymore. I don't know what it is.
Well, what has Paul said to you?
Nothing. No one said anything. It's just a premonition of evil. There's something wrong. Something horribly wrong in this house.
Oh, you're imagining things, Joan. It's all in your mind. It will pass as suddenly as it came. You're young, Joan, impressionable, and you've suddenly found your life turned upside down. A new environment to which you've never become accustomed, but you'll get used to it. You're my daughter. I want you to have what you deserve, what is rightfully yours.
I understand. And I'll try to overcome this feeling.
Yeah, that's better. You're a lovely girl, Joan. An intelligent girl. I know I'm going to be very proud of you.
Thank you. I think I'll go to bed now.
Well, it is rather late. Good night, dear. See you in the morning.
Hello.
Paul, what are you doing here on the stairs in the dark?
I wanted to tell you something.
What?
You're very, very beautiful. Your eyes, your hair, just like gold. Gold moonbeams. And so...
Paul!
And your throat. Your throat is slender and soft.
Take your hands off my neck. Paul!
I don't know many girls. Girls don't like me.
Let me by.
You don't like me either, do you?
Well,
I know. I can tell. Elsie didn't like me either. She was afraid of me.
Who's Elsie?
She was a girl in the village. She worked here in the summertime. No one knows what became of her.
What?
I don't remember what happened to her. But her throat was slender and white, like yours.
Let me by.
Joan.
What? Who's here? Who's in this room?
Don't turn on the light.
Helga. What do you want?
I must talk to you.
What about?
You're not safe here. No one is safe in this house. You must leave at once.
What do you mean? What's wrong?
The house is wrong. It's filled with evil and hate. I know.
Why do you stay?
I can't leave. It's too late. But you must go at once.
Do you mean that Paul?
That's part of it.
And what else?
John.
John? What about him?
I can't tell you. But you must believe me.
What about my father?
He doesn't believe he is your father. And he's planning to get revenge on your mother through you.
I don't believe you. I won't.
Get away while you have a chance.
No. I won't run from it. I'll face it, whatever it is.
Very well. Good night, Joe.
Now it is nearly midnight. John still works at his desk in the library. But outside, a man steps softly through the trees upon the terrace, quietly opens the library doors, steps in.
Hello, John.
Frank. Good Lord.
Yes, Brother Frank. Well, why don't you say something? Come in, or get out, or something.
Why, come in, Frank. You fairly knocked me off my feet. I didn't know whether you were alive or dead.
It's been a long time, John.
Why haven't you written me?
Well, I was hoping I could make a go of that ranch and pay you back, but I guess I was just born unlucky.
Oh.
They had a revolution and cleaned Senor Gonzalez out and me with him.
That's too bad, Frank.
But you're still the same steady, reliable John. Yes, sir, I've tried my darndest to be like you, but, well, it just isn't in me. I don't have what it takes. The last 2 years, I've had a pretty tough time. I caught some sort of a malarial fever down there, and It's impossible to get rid of it. It's recurring.
You certainly don't look well. You've aged quite a bit. You better have Dr. Richards look you over tomorrow.
He's still kicking around? I thought he'd be gone long ago. How's your new marriage turned out?
Oh, very well. Very well indeed.
Good. Ever hear from Mary?
Yes. She came to see me. I knew she would eventually. She was broke and quite ill. She'd had a tough time of it.
And you helped her up. You would. You couldn't turn anyone down.
Well, she was mainly interested in my helping the girl. She had her in a school in Vermont.
And so now you're taking care of both of them.
What else could I do?
Good old John.
I sent for the girl and brought her down here. She's a lovely child. Sweet as can be.
And you'll give her everything her heart desires, I suppose. And then you'll have another problem on your hands with Joan. A girl 17 either wants to get married or go to college.
Oh? Well, I've decided that.
Really?
I'd like to send her to Wellesley.
Good. Isn't every man who can have...
Just a minute, Frank. I'll be right back. Well, what are you doing out here in the hall this time of night, Paul?
Oh, well, Mother sent me down to see why you hadn't come up to your room.
Oh. Well, tell her I'll be up in a few minutes.
Yes, I'll tell her.
My stepson, Paul. His mother thought I was staying up unusually late.
Oh, well, I'll run along. Good heavens, it's after 12. When's the last train back to the city?
12 o'clock. You've missed it.
Well, when's the next one?
5 a.m.
Oh. Well, I suppose I'll have to wait for that. Can you put me up?
Yes, of course, Frank.
Oh, thanks.
Wait a moment, Frank. I probably won't be up when you leave, so I'll give you this now.
Oh, now, John, I didn't come here for that. Well, that is not exactly.
No, you never have. Here you are, Frank. 1,000. And see Doc Richards first thing in the morning. And drop in at the office and let me know what he says.
Thanks, John. I'm sorry to have to take this. I only wish that...
Oh, forget it. We're not kids any longer. You're too old to learn new tricks now. Run along to bed, Frank. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, take the guest room at the head of the stairs.
Good night, John. See you in town at noon.
Night, Frank.
The clock strikes 3 as 2 figures slip down the darkened hall and quietly enter John's bedroom. Then a few minutes later, the same 2 figures make their way in the moonlight through the trees to the back of the estate, carrying a long, gruesome bundle wrapped in a sheet. Now it is 3 nights later, and Joan, Helga, and Paul are in the library as Joan paces back and forth anxiously.
But where could Father have gone? He didn't say a word about going out of town.
Oh, maybe he doesn't want to come back.
Why not?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like it here.
You should have listened to me.
But you didn't say anything about... Well, you just mentioned me.
Could it be a mistake? I just had a weird feeling of impending disaster.
Something is wrong, I know.
If I didn't belong here, if I could leave, I'd not stay another moment. Who knows what will happen next?
I know.
What do you know?
I know what'll happen next.
They always happen in twos.
Many people have come here, stayed a while, and then suddenly disappeared.
What time is it?
11:30.
There's a train at 12. I'm leaving here. Hello? Yes, this is Joan Talbot. What? Good heavens, who? Where? Yes. Yes, I understand. Yes, I'll be here. Yes.
Who was it?
I don't know. I've never heard anything like it.
What do you mean?
There's a man, and
What man?
he said he had a message for us. And he'll be here at 12 o'clock, and to wait for him in the library.
The police?
I don't know. He said he'll come to the garden windows, to the library window.
Who could it be?
I don't know. But we'll wait. I'm going to see this through.
he comes. Through the garden.
Who is it, Mother?
I don't know.
The lights. Why did you turn out the lights?
I turned them out so we could see outside. Who is he?
I don't know. He's up on the terrace.
Who are you? What do you want?
I came to talk to you.
What about?
About what happened here at 3 o'clock in the morning several days ago.
Nothing happened. Nothing.
But something did happen.
Turn on the lights.
No, don't turn them on. You couldn't see me if you turned on the lights.
Oh, good Lord. Was it you who phoned me?
I spoke to you, but I didn't phone you.
Mother. What happened in this house at 3 o'clock several days ago?
A man was murdered.
What? Paul.
Turn on the lights. Turn on the lights.
Joan Talbot, open the top drawer of that desk, and I'll take out the paper. It says, on the night of August 5th, we, the undersigned, murdered John Talbot in his bedroom and buried his body on the estate.
We didn't. We didn't.
It's John. It's John.
Sign it. Sign the paper, and I'll go.
Sign it, Paul. Sign it. You did it. You killed him. Sign it.
You help me. You sign it.
I can't.
Turn on the lights, Joan.
John.
It's him. It's him. He isn't dead.
No, Paul.
We didn't. Paul, what happened?
I'll tell you. You killed my brother Frank instead. Come on in, Sergeant. You heard it all.
Yes, we heard it all.
Father, what on earth happened? When you phoned a while ago, I almost fainted. I was sure you were dead.
I knew from the moment you told me you were frightened in this house that something was wrong. I put two and two together and realized what it was. They didn't want you to share in the estate. I knew they were planning something on that night. And then my brother came. He accidentally got into my room by mistake, and they killed him instead of me. I saw them carrying his body through the trees. So I disappeared for a few days and evolved this plan. You've nothing to worry about any longer, Joan. Nothing.
No. Nothing to worry about. But the truth would certainly amaze you. All that Helga said about Paul and John was true. And John was planning revenge, but not through Joan. That night your brother Frank came back. You discovered something, John. What was it Frank said?
And then you'll have another problem on your hands with Joan. A girl 17 either wants to get married or go to college.
It was then, John, that you knew the truth. The only way that Frank could have possibly known that the girl's name was Joan and that she was 17 was to have been with Mary. So John knew then that it was Frank who ran away with Mary and deserted her when Joan was 4 years old. And then John, knowing that Helga and Paul planned to kill him, deliberately let Frank occupy his room on that fateful night. John's revenge was satisfied, and he didn't have to turn a hand. That's all.
CBS has presented The Whistler. And now an important announcement regarding a change of time. Beginning 1 week from tomorrow night, on Sunday, September 13th, The Whistler will come to you at 9:15 p.m. Remember, Sunday, September 13th at 9:15 p.m. Original music for this production was composed and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. The Whistler is written and directed by J. Donald Wilson and originates from Columbia Square in Hollywood. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.